So hi again, I'm Dr. Elena Gare, and this is the fourth and final video in the series of metabolism and how it relates to our weight. So today is the long-awaited supplementation segment. Today we're going to talk about supplements, the ones you've heard about in the media. Do they work? Is it worth investing in these? The danger of self-prescription. So to get started, let's talk about some of the ones that you've probably seen in the media. We have hydroxycut, raspberry ketones, Garcinia cambogia. Another one is green coffee extract. Essentially, all of these have a little bit of research to back them up. Whether or not it's reliable research is a different question. Some of the research conducted for these products was actually supported by the companies who produce them, and in that regard becomes unreliable research. Research, for example, with the raspberry ketones, saying that it helps drop weight, specific fat tissue, was actually based on research conducted on rats. There are no human studies whatsoever, and that means that you can't really apply it to humans. And in addition, the dose that they gave the rats was quite high. So to accomplish the same thing in humans, we would just never get approval for submitting people through that kind of procedure to determine whether or not it's effective. Garcinia cambogia, similarly, there just isn't enough research to support investing in a lot of these products. Another one is the hydroxycut. So this is one that we've seen on the market for several years. In general, it's a combination of high caffeine and some herbs. Whether or not it's actually effective is difficult to determine with this product because it is so well marketed. The research isn't strong enough. We know that caffeine, from research, caffeine really does help with endurance. So people who like long runs, high intensity activities, caffeine beforehand and during can actually really help. It allows these athletes to really kind of beat their last times, keep going, push through those limitations that they're meeting. Whether hydroxycut is worth the investment over coffee, I can't say. So in general, the only supplements that I really would say are worth a consideration would be the ones that are based on fiber. So this is where we see PGX coming in. This is your fiber, glucomannan, the idea being that these are going to help reduce appetite and increasing satiety. So in general, you're just eating less because you feel more full throughout the day. One thing I kind of question in that department is whether you could accomplish the same thing by adding more fiber to your diet. It's obviously less convenient, but it's less for your liver to be processing and might actually be more sustainable. That said, if you're trying to kind of train your body to eat less because you're used to having huge portions and that's an element that you're trying to cut back on, PGX would maybe be a considerable option. One thing that I think is absolutely crucial to mention here is that in no circumstances should you be self-prescribing supplements for weight loss, especially if you have any pre-existing conditions or you have a risk for developing something like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, or any neurological conditions. It's really important to see a healthcare provider and discuss your goals, discuss different products that you've been considering with them. Most likely they're able to do some research, if they don't already know, for the products that you're considering and whether or not they actually are relevant and indicated for you as an individual. Individualized healthcare is absolutely crucial when it comes to weight loss, and in particular with supplementation. We can't just widespread say that everyone will benefit by taking caffeine pills or everyone will benefit by taking PGX or fiber. It's really important to create these plans based on the individual and the individual's needs and the individual's goals. So in general, when it comes to supplements, see your naturopath. Don't self-prescribe, and don't let what we're seeing in the media kind of sway you to order something online. The other element that I think is a really great tool for putting in place when it comes to weight loss and metabolism and boosting metabolism and really keeping track of our exercise in relation to intake, and I think personally is much more effective of a tool than supplementation, is actually using a caloric tracker. So this is where we're seeing things like MyFitnessPal is probably one of the more popular options. You can use it on your phone or on your computer. You log in, you track your meals, which in general it has everything pre-programmed. You just search for it and it comes up. You input all of the food that you've consumed throughout the day. You input your water intake. You input all of your activities. So whether it's cleaning the house, walking to work, taking the stairs, exercise, all of these things can be inputted into the system, and it tells you where you're at as far as caloric expenditure versus caloric intake. And that's where we're seeing that balance of calories in versus calories out, and how we can really monitor them. And using a tracking app can really help us get to a place where we understand how calories work and what is a lot of calories and what's not so many, so that we can create that balance ourselves throughout the day without necessarily always needing to use a tracker. So in general, to sum up with supplements, see your naturopath, don't self-prescribe, and consider using a calorie tracker versus supplements. That mindfulness in your meals and mindfulness in your daily activity is a much more effective tool than taking a supplement that may or may not work, and realistically long term is not going to be something that's sustainable weight loss. So that brings us to the end of the metabolism element of the Cleanse Class series. I really hope you've enjoyed and learned a little bit. If you do have more questions, you can come in and see me for a 15-minute consultation for free to kind of chat and see if my services in naturopathic medicine would be something that would help you accomplish your goals. And I hope that you've enjoyed the tutorials, and we hope to see you at Norfolk sometime soon.